Hey everybody, it's Mike. Welcome back to the stream. We're going to play some more Disco Elysium tonight. We've been making progress. Last session, we did a whole lot of cool stuff. We went through the apartment complex, opened up the water lock, and then started exploring the fishing village side of the area. There's a lot of really cool stuff going on. So I think to start, though, we've got 2 skill points, so let's figure out where we want to put those. I'm kind of torn right now because of the whole point I wanted to level up conceptualization. Inland Empire, thanks to Funkitator. My Inland Empire is capped at 1, so I don't know that that's going to be a good use of my points. The whole reason I wanted to level up conceptualization was to succeed at that role of pitching the infinitely wealthy person a business idea to make Harry some money. But I don't need money anymore because I have a house. But I think in theory it would be really cool to set Harry up for the rest of his life. To have this money post game, assuming he survives. So we're going to keep that on the table, but I'm not married to it as much as I was earlier when I was like, how am I going to pay 20 real every day to stay at the Whirling in Rags? Because I was scrapping together just enough money each day. So we've got 2 skill points. Let's go to the thought cabinet real quick, because we did get some thoughts that we haven't investigated yet. I'm not really sure. I don't remember who this guy is. Maybe this... I don't know who that was. I don't really remember that one. Regular law official. Okay, so it looks like you got a bit of the normal in you. A touch of the regular. 4 grams of Johnny normal cop, and who would have thunk it? You, the extremist of all cops, you said some pretty boring things back there, and now you have 2 choices. You can either leave it behind and forget about it, or you can try to utilize your normalcy, internalize it, get a touch of vanilla back in your herring-flavored egg, and licorice ice cream of your mind. I think I am a regular cop. I feel like that is pretty obvious here. So that one's definitely, I feel like that really speaks to the core of my character. So we might put that over here. Let's see what else we've got here. Indirect modes of taxation. I wish I had known a little bit more. Yeah, Defunkertator says I absolutely have to take that. I agree. I think that I didn't really understand quite how to think about the thought cabinet starting off the game. That these are kind of thoughts and things that kind of define your character. So I feel like some of these probably might not, in retrospect, be as applicable. I don't really think my character... I think finger guns are really fun, but I don't know that that defines my Harry. So probably, in theory, I could swap that out. Rigorous self-critique, yeah, that probably works. The bow collector, yeah, figuring out his past, that all seems correct. The 5th Indo tribe, maybe not. So all that stuff, the stuff that if I have an excess of skill points, I might come back to. But I do think that as far as role-playing goes, regular law official is probably the most... of all of my thoughts, it's probably the most correct. So we should go ahead and do that. I thought this was really interesting. I got this when I didn't really look at it last time. Fairweather T500. That's the brand of armor that we've been collecting from the murder victim. It really hurts to punch this armor. A sword wouldn't leave even a scratch. A bullet would bounce right off. Still, there must be some flaw in it that would allow you to stand your ground against the dangerous enemy technology. You just have to figure out what it is, possibly by beating yourself while wearing it, shooting yourself. Let's see. I really like this idea of, here's this armor that we have, and we might need to know how to beat somebody that has this armor, so we should study it. But do I want to waste a skill point on it? Seems like something my character would do because he's very he's intellectual. So I am leaning towards doing it, but then that's 2 skill points that pits off my get rich quick scheme down the line a little bit more. But I really like that, so I think we're going to do it. Okay, so we've used our 2 skill points. If I can, there we go. Got those going now. We're out of skill points. I'm pretty sure we've got to meet the. Got to go meet the guy from the apartment complex at 2100 hours. So that is still a little ways away. So the next thing I really want to do is go kind of explore the beach. When I was in here, this is my shack that I live in now. I'm hoping I can get my down payment back from Gart for the payment I already made for today. That would be awesome. But when I went in here the first time and I shaved, I don't know if you guys can see there, my guy no longer has. He's getting a fresh start here. I got a Shivers prompt that essentially said look under the floorboards of where you live, and I just haven't found a way to do that yet, so that's kind of on my to-do list. I need to figure that out. I'm assuming there's probably going to be trash on this beach that needs to be collected, so we can keep an eye out for it. Ooh, got a thought bubble. A little black swallow circles above you. You hear it chirp. Is that how you spell chirp? It's like chirrup. Chirrup. Hear it chirrup. The beams are splintered. The bridge didn't collapse on its own. Artillery broke it. So this must be a kind of a relic of the war. The water runs from west. The source is upstream. A broken pipe. Eey, that's not good. That's not a good source. Like in my rust-eaten letters read M-A-Z-U-T, Mazut. Like in my head, you know, Harry pitches this infinitely wealthy man and becomes wealthy, and then he can come over here and, like, you know, fix up this little fishing village, and he just retires over here. You know, I mean, that sounds nice, right? I'm sure that's what everybody did with their Harry. You should come back here when it snows. A strange feeling passes quickly. Does it snow? Maybe I can't get to that thing out there unless it snows? Oh, okay, there we go. I didn't think I could walk over there for some reason. Looking back at you from the rust-colored water, you... Rhetoric, wait, take a longer look at yourself and how you're reflected in that slick chemical rainbow. What do you see? Conceptualization, metaphor. It's always metaphor. Some kind of metaphor for me. This is more important than you? That's the blood of industry you see before you, the runoff from Coal City, further down the coast. The engines of fortune once roared here, great wealth poured into Revachol, the Delta, as did smoke, waste, sickness, life. What happened? The engines stopped. The West Revacholian industrial base was dismantled after the war. Now extinguished coke furnaces dot the landscape, a landscape despoiled by industry. It's actually interesting that they use coke furnaces here instead of like coal furnaces, because coke is derived from coal. I don't see the problem. Revachol moved on to service industry. Get with the times, Joe. West Revacholian industrial base. That's so me. That was a serious dereliction of duty in this claim. There was a serious dereliction of duty. That's true. There was a serious dereliction of duty. Perhaps you could dedicate your life to cleaning it. Hey, like that's exactly what I was just talking about. But you're a cop. You must concern yourself with different messes. Even so, it's pretty to think. Empathy. What's this? We're getting reports of normal, reasonable, temperate political opinions somewhere in Martinez. You must be mistaken. I'm a real radical. That's me, Mr. Reasonable. Someone's got to keep saying around here. That's because I keep saying none of the above to political stuff, isn't it? That's funny. That's me, Mr. Reasonable. The air suddenly feels calmer, more transparent in a strangely tender way. Perhaps it's the hangover, perhaps it's a temporary surge of serotonin, but something tells you it's time to become a citizen of the Kingdom of Conscience. First, where is this Kingdom of Conscience? No more talk, sign me up for a passport. No, I'm too fiery of this watercolor ideology. I'm trying to develop more extreme and interesting opinions. What is the Kingdom of Conscience? It's not a place, it's a moment in time that can only arise in the right circumstances. In all of human history, it's only been achieved a handful of times. How do you bring about those circumstances? Incrementally. History's greatest catastrophes have been brought about by people trying to make the world a better place too quickly. Sounds like a supervillain. That's the genius of Dolores Day. She recognized that progress is meaningless if its gains are lost because of instability. Real lasting change can only come about gradually, incrementally, by increment. But what about all the things that are wrong now? Okay, what's the Kingdom of Consciousness actually like? What's it actually like? The kingdom is difficult to comprehend and even more difficult to describe, partly because humanity will need to discard many of the categories that define and limit it today. The kingdom of conscience is post-capitalist, post-national. It's also post-industrial, post-ideological, and even post-sexual. This all sounds interesting. Hang on a second. I remember reading about Dolores Day in one of those books earlier in the game. Forgot to set this up. Boop, boop, boop. There we go. Didn't zoom in. Better. Okay. Is that better? Am I still in frame? Yeah. Okay, good. So should I do this? I got pants that give me +1 to all Kingdom of Consciousness. Incremental change sounds incremental. Sounds incredible. Alonzi? I don't know what that means. Alonzi? Let's go there right now. That seems fine. I want to live for the present, though. Man, that sounds kind of terrible, I don't think. Interesting. Sounds interesting. You know? But what does post everything mean? That's not really sure. Let's just try. Let's see what it is. Let's opt in. Slow down, Mr. Reasonable. Did you miss the part about compromising and taking things slow? Alright, then let's get there eventually. That sounds like exactly what I would say. That's right. Remember, real democracy is just around the corner for Revachol. When the real democracy kicks in a long time from now, we're all going to be so much happier. What is this? Kingdom of Conscience. Heartache is powerful, but democracy is subtle. Incrementally, you begin to notice a change in the weather. When it snows, the flakes are softer when they stick to your worry-worn forehead. When it rains, the rain is warmer. Democracy is coming to the administrative region. The ideals of DeLorean humanism are reinstating themselves. How can they not? There are ideals of the Coalition and the Moralist International. Those guys are signal blue, and they're not only good, they're also powerful. What will it be like once their nuanced plans have been realized? Interesting. Well, maybe we'll check that out with our next skill point. Alright, onward. The rear tire of a motor carriage. I wonder if it's Nolan Vinkt. An unsuccessful model. Hang on. Ooh. A little loud. There we go. A kick drum pulse. The music is coming from somewhere on the ice. A school of fish huddle around the fence post, then scatter into the dark. Before you, a drawbridge. It can only be lowered from the other side. Somebody's living out here on the ice. Can I see that? No. Gonna need a boat. Full of holes. Could the post hide treasure? Look inside. Oh wow, they all light up. That's cool. Wonder what the difference between the green highlights and the yellow highlights are. Okay. Must have taken a lot of patience to do this. This might be our cryptozoologist guy. Painted with pastels, someone is trying to bring cheer into the world. Yellow moss on these stones, they're probably stolen from someone's garden. Trash from some unending party. A pole screwed into ice keeps the tent erect. More tribalistic markings. This post is covered in little humanoids. I wonder if I can just, you know, drop this down. Pile of eternite. A pane of eternite has been planted into the snow. 2 poles are holding it up. Barely holding it up. It could fall over any minute. A stronger gust of wind might be enough. What is this? It looks like a makeshift bridge. He adjusts his collar against the cool breeze. Could be convenient. Let's leave it as it is until we know why it's the way it is. Can't just be running around knocking people's bridges down. So, a shaggy-looking girl in her late teens or early 20s kneels on the ice with an electronic contraption in her hand. Hearing your approach, she looks up.
Oh, hello there.
Dear child, it's freezing. Where's your hat? She looks at you distracted. Maybe she didn't hear you. A little louder said, you should have a hat on.
So should you.
Oh, you're right. I do have a hat. I don't have to do anything. I'm the law. You have to do what the law says. I should and do. Boom.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Look at my nice hat. It's nice. You should wear one too if you plan on staying outside in this weather. I have some questions. Yeah, you should.
Yeah, well, look man, fuck the hat.
I have like no authority. I'm not going to do that. It's a red roll. Yeah, I'm good. Is that kind of language really necessary?
I said fuck the hat. I was concentrating on something else. My whole family swears and it rubbed off on me.
There's a pained expression on her face. She'll answer your questions now. Okay, what's your name? Estelle. Her hair is dyed blonde with dark roots showing. There's a coarseness to her features, some masculinity below that timidness. And your surname, Estelle who? I'm not a young suitor. This is official police business. Oh, she hesitates. Well, it's Burger. A very common name. What's this device you have? This, she breathes on her freezing fingers, is a portable recording device. It's for field recording. Low quality, but still. And the wires, actually, just one wire. I picked on it till the braiding came loose. The wire leads to a contact microphone. What's a contact microphone? A contact mic reads sounds from inside things like this ice. Your mangled brain would like you to know there is a boxer called Contact Mike. Yeah, Contact Mike. Yeah, any news on my wife's name? How about my mother? That's fine. Yeah. Nope. You're welcome. Does this have anything to do with Contact Mike? How does the thing work? Where did you get the mic from? Actually, I had some non-micros. How does it work? The mic, I don't exactly know. Somehow it doesn't pick up. Somehow it doesn't pick up vibrations from the air. Box said it only picks up structural-born sound. If you like techno babble. Where did you get the mic from? Same place I got the recorder from, the Elysium. What's the Elysium? Oh man, you haven't been to the Elysium? She forgets herself for a moment. It's the coolest place in the whole drug-addled shithole. It's a music club. Just click option 1. I'm guessing that was from a few minutes ago. And Defuncator says, tell me more about this contact mic. That's funny. It's a music club and a synthesizer workshop on Boogie Street in Jamrock. Musicians live there, like real musicians. I once saw Arno van Eyck. Sounds interesting. Who is this Arno guy? Sounds like a place for congregating homosexuals. Oh dear. Alright. Oh yeah, she looks you over, assessing your age. Guess you wouldn't know Van Eyck or really a Palladium going kind of person. I get down. On second thought, let's go back to I get down. I get down. I don't know what that means. I grind. I don't know what that means either. It means I'm hip beyond my years. Nor do I have a concrete evidence that I rock in the form of a wrecked tape player and completely trashed a hostel room. Neither do I. Actually, I have no idea what I'm talking about. Get down, grind. I mean, I'm hip beyond my years. Yeah, sounds like something I'd say. That's cool. She breathes on her fingers. Looks like she doesn't know what to say. You're right. Time has deserted me. Never mind. Let's talk about the contact mic. It's true. My name is Mike. And it is an encyclopedia thing, so it probably is meant to be Defuncator. A cell. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and ask. Does this have to do with contact mic? She's confused. Yeah, record stuff with it. No, I mean the boxer contact mic. Ah, no, this is a contact microphone. It's for recording inside solid objects. Contact mic just beats stuff up. Beats people up. You know, contact mic doesn't just beat people up. Contact mic is a role model. He is a role model. An entire litany spews forth. Yes, you heard right. You should try to be more like contact mic. Successful. Oh, this is awesome. Yes, you heard right. You should try to be more like Contact Mike, a successful athlete and inspirational figure who has overcome social, physical, and mental obstacles. On second thought, screw Contact Mike. He's not a champion, you are. Look at you here in front of a saggy tent, picking your nose to drug addict music. The world of sports is in awe of your faith and dedication. Sorry, I don't know why I said that. There was something else I wanted. Yeah, you should be more like Contact Mike. Man, you were one weird cop. That's true. This isn't about me. This is about your lack of respect for one of boxing great and for yourself. I'd say I'm just about normal. Now about Mike, not Mike. I feel like it's pretty disrespectful to say she doesn't have respect for herself. And I mean, is one of the greats, though. And I am Mike. Okay. What is with you and this Mike guy? She pauses. The question is rhetorical. The litany of contact Mike. What? Okay, if it floats in your boat, I'll be more like contact Mike and less like me. Yes, that does indeed float my boat. Self-respect is not meant to float any boats but your own. I'll keep that in mind for future use. She turns to check her tape recorder. Hey, I think that actually might have worked out well. My weird, like, side tangent ramblings about Contact Mike. She might turn her life around or something. I agree, Defuncator. We just changed this kid's life. They're probably going to grow up to be like a world-class athlete. Alright. Actually, I had some non-mic questions. What are you doing out here in the cold? Recording, I guess. And what are you recording exactly? I think I'm recording cracks in the ice, but there's no way to tell, not without headphones. I think I just recorded your footsteps too, not sure how that will sound. She scratches her forehead. What happened to the old headphones? Wait, what happened to the old headphones? And what are the recordings? What happened to the headphones? My boyfriend stole them. Uh-oh. What for? I don't know, man. Things. Just stuff you need for life. A lie. They were probably pawned for something suspicious. And what are these recordings for? The cracks, the footsteps. The musicians in the Palladium use them for making music. They loop the stuff, cutting the tapes together. They make music out of cracks in the ice and keys jangling, crazy sounds like that. It's hard to explain. This is probably the most accurate response I've had in the whole game. Anyway, I thought I'd make some too. It's supposed to be like a music place anyway. She rubs her shoulder and looks around. I don't really know what I'm doing. They use synthesizers too. I don't have a synthesizer. Take this. You're cold. The lieutenant begins to take off his jacket. What a pro Kim is. I've got like 3 jackets in my inventory. Didn't even give me the option. No, man. I'm cool. I'm sorry I said that. I'm sorry about the... Well, this is a good kid. Look, we're already turning her life around. It's okay. The lieutenant backs up. He throws you a glance. Now, this is where a hat would come in handy. Give her your hat. Here, you need this more than... Oh, man. I don't even know what modifiers my hat has. It's such a cool hat. Can I see what I have from my hat? I don't think I can because I can't open my inventory. Alright. I don't think I can not give her my hat. I mean, I don't think I have a choice. Now I wish I had a dumb hat on, though. Farewell, hat. Thanks, she puts the hat on. It's a bit large for her. You said it's supposed to be a music place. What is? That. She nodded towards the church. The boys think it could be a place like the Palladium or something stupid. It's really, she pauses, not going to be a Palladium, that's for sure. And who are the boys? The boys. Ah, yeah, Aunt Andre and the guys, they're inside in the tent. And why is that? Why are you freezing out here while the boys are inside? They got too much stuff crammed in there, no room. Stuff like what? Music stuff mostly, like the tape recorder, but bigger. There's piles of it. You mean like the old headphones your boyfriend sold? Why not just leave some of it outside? Yep, she squints her eyes a little. They were pretty. I'm sorry, we sold those. Why not just leave some of it outside so you don't have to freeze? Stuff is more expensive than I am. More expensive than any of us, really. Doesn't matter. I can take the cold. Got some other questions. Tape recorder lies on the ice like a discarded. Gave her a hat, more like a contact mic. Look, it actually gave me a +2 bonus for being more like contact mic. Tell more about this music place you've been planning in the church. It's supposed to become like a club for anodic dance music. Like the new style synthesizer stuff they play at the Palladium. Except that, yeah, she looked at the old wooden church up on the poles. As a mean wind comes blowing in, the 6-story structure... 6 stories? Whoa! Lets out a doleful shriek. Shivers. The floorboards are twisting and shooting beams. The shooting beams are slowly cracking like bones. Far east of the Golden Delta, beyond the industrial port, there is a black patch of unlit coast with the smallest creatures on the ice. There will never be a club for anodic music here. Not in a million years. What is anodic dance music? You know, anodic Catholic. Or cathodic. Anodic cathodic. Music that's made with electronic instruments. Electronic instruments, like what? Synthesizers and tape consoles, microcomputers, anything that uses electricity but isn't guitars, also found sounds, stuff like that. Conceptualization. This is an evolutionary step up from amplified instruments, which is in turn our step from acoustic instruments. What comes after it, you wonder? A black-tinted nothingness or something finer. So you want to turn the church into a... I can't tell if I've picked this. And no dig music. Now I'm going to find out what it is. What is it? I feel like it looks like I've already picked it. So you want to turn the church into a club. I know. She nods towards the sloping mass of wood. Slopping mass of wood on the coast, then shivers. It's not my idea. Andre and the boys found the place. It was supposed to be deserted, but now they can't even take it. Hey, don't get me wrong, but you're cops, right? Yes, why do you ask? Okay, well, she hesitates. Maybe you could talk to Andre and the guys, because there are some strange things going on in that church. If you're police, you should look into it, right? We'll see. I prefer to remain non-committal. I've got enough. I'll talk to them. They're inside that thing there. She points to the tent. Would be cool if you did. Was there something else? Enough. Da-da-da-da. Ah, man, 28% chance. Tape recorder lies on the ice. Empathy. Dude, it's a white... It's a white... actually, let's see if I have any clothes that can help me. Actually, that's it for now. Do I have anything that boosts empathy? Da-da. I don't think I do. Oh, look at that! Yes? Alright, well, I mean, it can't hurt, right? I could just put on a hat. Do I have a hat? I think I do. That was my only hat. Oh no, I've got this one. I don't know that I want to put it on. Why couldn't I give her that hat? That's got rhetoric. Do I use rhetoric a lot? Yeah, I've got one in rhetoric. I don't want to take a minus to rhetoric. It's my good skill.
Hello again.
42%. Let's give it a shot. Boom! Success! This device is still warm from her touch and heavy as a brick. From the batteries inside, the company logo Omicron adorns its yellow plastic cover. Inside, the tape is rolling. The girl looks at the device in your hands. I'm sorry you have to sit here on the ice, feeling miserable at your age, or at any age, in this weather, waiting for it to get dark. She looks you in the eye, her pupil wide, surrounded by a ridiculous amount of makeup. The people who built this world intended it to be better for you, but they failed. It is easier to live in their failure with this by your side. The wind howls. She remains silent. Empathy. It's real. Tell her. It's not a childish fantasy. It can be real. It can be a real weapon against what's coming for you now. What is? Her shoulder shakes a little. The dark. Nothing if you got this. Don't be scared. I'm once again reminded of how Contact Mike rose from the slums of St. Baptiste to the top of the boxing world, overcoming adversity and serious brain trauma. Nothing is coming. Nothing he wouldn't knock out in 3 rounds. The real fight is for the right attitude. Somehow I feel like that's the right answer here. Nothing if you got this. I mean, I've gotta go all in on Contact Mike, right? I'm once again reminded of how Contact Mike rose from the slums of St. Baptiste to the top of the boxing world, overcoming adversity and serious brain trauma. Nothing is coming. Nothing he wouldn't knock out in 3 rounds. The real fight is for the right attitude. Yeah, alright, we're going all in on contact Mike here. I can't believe this turned into another Mike thing. Fine, okay, I'll stick to it. She takes the device from you and places it on her lap. I'll knock it out in 3 rounds. After a moment of silence, she speaks again. So thanks, I guess, for the psych session. Maybe I can return it. What's eating you, officer? I wonder if I don't know. That seems like it went okay. I wonder what the other option would have given me. You said eating me? There's nothing eating me. Come on, I can tell. She shakes her head slowly, but okay. Be a buendario. About it if you want to. I guess there is something that's been making my life hell. What is it? She listens intently. I like that I'm just standing here in the middle of this, like, fishing village on this ice shelf, wearing my, like, cop jacket, some, like, plain trousers, weird boots, armored gauntlets, holding a sack full of, like, recyclable bottles, having an in-depth conversation with a girl I just met 10 minutes ago. What is it? She listens intently. I think that's the plight of the working class. Everyone just mooching off of entrepreneurial class, shackling the doers. I think it's all these foreign people. People just keep putting their selfish interests ahead of the greater good. That's not really what's eating me at all. It's the fact that I'm a terrible person and probably ran my wife away. Hmm. Well, if I had to pick one of these, I'd probably say people putting their selfish interests ahead of the greater good. Oh, really? Yeah, no one understands that sometimes you've got to make sacrifices for the sake of progress. It's all very distressing. So, the thing that's been eating you is slow pace of social progress. Don't get me wrong, I'm all for slow and steady progress. I just wish people would be a little more reasonable, is all. I am pretty reasonable. Yeah, that's probably not it, is it? Don't get me wrong. Okay, sounds like you're not that upset about it. I told you, I'm highly distressed by this state of affairs. Uh-huh. And you're sure it's social progress you're distressed about and not, I don't know, some chick? Oh, okay, well at least now we got to the root of the real problems. Now that you mention it, I found these letters I thrown in the trash. They might have something to do with it. Okay. Okay, why do you think about that? First, they had just the faintest scent of chewing gum on them. I could still smell it under the shit. They were written in a woman's hand, and oh boy, did reading them make me not feel good. To hell with the questions I had them, and to hell with this. Questions I had them, and you have answers. Ah, yeah, they were in a woman's handwriting, and it made me feel bad. There you have it, then. Chick trouble. Not political after all. Who was she? I don't remember. Really, she appears to believe you. You seem pretty upset about this, Chica. Are you sure you don't remember anything about her? I remember her scent, that's all. Wow, man, that's some pretty strange shit. She rubs her sides for warmth. Are you sure the letters were for you? Oh, no. Yeah, I'm sure. Why would I have reacted so strongly otherwise? Yeah, that doesn't seem like something I would say. Why would I have reacted so strongly otherwise? How come you don't remember, though? Is it like some selective memory thing? Wait, what do you mean by selective memory? I think it's more about me getting so unbelievably drunk I completely erased all memory of this world. You might have a point there, selective memory. I think it's probably because I got so drunk I erased all memory of this world. Yeah, or it might be that. This one time I did so much booze that I forgot to. It's obvious she's done more than booze. Or it might just be psych bullshit, you know. Koningstein wank. What is Koningstein wank? You know, the psych thing they've got going on there. Rich people like it. People in Koningstein are mostly rich. You know, I'm not sure this made things any better. Alright, thanks for the bullshit psych thing. You're welcome. She thinks for a second, stretching her jaw. Might be for the best to keep that shit forgotten, though. Just my opinion. If it itches, don't scratch it. Hmm. Well, what a nice conversation with this young lady. I think we helped each other out. Contact Mike would be proud. Let's go in here to these hoodlums. The tent is just a tarpaulin fabric covering a pile of stuff. The flap is open. Inside, 3 young men are listening to some new form of music. It's like nothing you've ever heard. One of them looks at you.
Come on, get in and close the flap behind you.
Come
the warm
on.
stuff's getting out.
The warm stuff's getting out. Squeeze in.
Sorry, you barely have room for one.
You go ahead. I'm too old for this.
Kim. I'm actually not, he thinks. I just dislike delinquents.
I'm sure you will feel right at home. I'll keep watch.
Is he now telling me I'm a delinquent? Is that what that was Kim just taking a shot? Oh my gosh, what's going on here? Smells like sweat and laundry detergent plus a trace of ether. Kubri's Laang's engine starting fluid. A pile of nasal brand name Nose Fed Ultra. Canisters filled with what appears to be water. The label says distilled. A speaker, the big kind they use for live music. Anything else? Ooh. Oh, it's just leaving. Alright, dude. Andre, you see a youngish man bleaching the tips of his hair with a toothbrush. He puts the toothbrush down and extends his hand in greeting. Hello, I'm Andre. It's a pleasure to meet you. Conceptualization. There is definitely something futuristic about his hair, aggressively so. You get the sense that this is what the future will look like. Ugh. Imbecilic? Yes. Should the future ever come, it will look deeply imbecilic. Like this guy. Shake his hand. His grip is strong, sweaty, and warm. He's trying to project and inspire confidence.
This is my posse. Noid.
Noid. The young man with earrings looks at you suspiciously.
An egghead. Egg!
The tape player high above his head continues to blast what is probably anodic music.
Together with a Cell Burger, who's out there right now, doing some seriously progressive sonic experimentation, we like to think of ourselves as music venue organisers.
Wait, how many music venues have you organized?
We have many in the pipeline, officer.
Many? That means they haven't set up a single one yet. Why are you here?
We've been all over Jamrock North, prospecting for real estate to establish a new venue in.
Also for talent.
Yeah, thank you, Egghead. And while there is no shortage of raw, unfettered talent spinning tapes in Jamrock, we've had rotten luck with the real estate part.
There's no real estate in Jamrock. That's what I hear.
I apologise for my friend Noid's potty mouth. I realise this is not how you speak to a police officer. He has authority issues.
There's no need. The place is pretty bad. Watch yourself. Was there something you wanted? Your friend Asil said there was a problem with the church. Yeah, it's pretty bad in
Which brings me
Jamrock.
to the problem of occupied ecclesiastical property. I bet you've noticed the derelict hive of narcomania on the coast.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the church, and I'm not exaggerating. Even a place of spiritual refuge can become a magnet for all sorts of dopeheads and burnouts if left unattended.
True.
Dope heads.
Burnouts. Well, I'm sad to say, that's exactly what happened. Sad because we were just about to put Martinez on the map with one of the maddest dance clubs in Jamrock. Nah, strike that, in Revachol.
Strike that, the word.
Did his accent just change?
And sadder yet, because the dopeheads and burnouts holed up in there are the worst kind.
He leans back a little, watching you with a steady, serious gaze, letting you imagine just how bad those dopeheads and burnouts really are. Rhetoric. Good. This calls for an opinion. You're an expert in those. What kind? I won't stand for narcomaniacs of any kind. No narcomaniacs on my watch. What kind? The spooky kind. What do you mean by spooky? Spookiness is not a matter of police investigation. What do you mean by spooky? I was hoping you would be the judge of that, officer. All I can say is their spookiness is the kind that keeps us from restoring this church into a community center and a place of spiritual refuge. I feel like you're really overselling what you're going to do with this church, Andre. Noid. Also, they don't heat or clean the building. Shit's gonna collapse. Egghead. People just want to spin tapes without them spooking it up. Place has bad signs. No one can dance like that. Andre. Thank you, Egghead. He turns to you, so you're going to look into it, right? It should be a police matter. Getting them out. Whatever spooky stuff they're doing, I'm sure it's not what the Ecclesiastes meant for their property. I'll look into it. Tell me more. I'll make up my mind later. I have questions for you. The police have more important things to do. Sure, I'll look into it. Alright, man. He claps his hands enthusiastically. Andre is obviously very happy you took him seriously. The whole tent is... I guess maybe I should have gone and talked to them inside first. I hope I don't get like locked into only chasing them off if they seem like good people. Andre is obviously very happy you took them seriously. The whole tent is. The boys exchange giddy looks. What's the status of the church? I haven't gotten inside the building yet. I asked Noid to install a measure against more drifters wandering in. A padlock, it's a temporary fix, just something to contain the situation. I had to do it in a hurry, not my best work, but it should hold for a while. What about the key? Of course, Noid gave officer the key. Alright. The speed freak dips into his belt pack and produces a yellow key. He then makes a sudden cool infused move, tossing it in your general direction. Be cool, cop. Catch the key as it flies towards you. Let the key fall to the ground and pick it up like a normal adult person. Well, now I'm going to be cool. Yeah! You sense the trajectory of the little piece of metal, plastic. The object makes a small ringing sound as it approaches, just the tiniest chime to your left. Catch it. Ka-ching! The key hits your palm. The speed freaks nod approvingly. Bask in the glory. Thanks, man. Play it cool. Oh yeah, we're gonna play it cool. Speed freak nods to you. How long have those people been locked in there? Not long, like a week? Yeah, how can you be sure they haven't starved to death? Taking initiative like this is proper citizen behavior. I'm super sure they're alive. I mean, come on, I'm at least 90%, maybe 85% sure they're still alive. Oh, encyclopedia. Somewhere in the ruinous past that led you here, there was something called exams. You may have learned the term involuntary manslaughter there. Andre, do you know what involuntary manslaughter means? 85% is not good enough when you're dealing with another person's physical well-being. 85% is good enough. No one lives forever, baby. Andre, do you know what the term involuntary manslaughter means? Yes, I do. I listen to Channel 8 all the time. I know about crime stuff. And I assure you, officer, that this is not what is happening here. I am at least 80% sure they're alive. I mean, come on. Most people aren't ever that alive in their entire lives. What does that even mean? I don't know. He pauses to think. What does anything really mean? Oh yeah, he looks at his friend with an expression of profound understanding. Sounds like nonsense. You're right, it is nonsense. Total garbage. I knew you'd see through it. You're one smart cop. I get by. Now, where was I with this padlock? He nods attentively, ready to answer your questions. The questions of a one smart cop. I am a smart cop. Alright, other questions. Who exactly are these people inside the church? Truth is, I don't really know. None of us do. I don't even know how many there are. So they just went to this church, there were people in it, and they're like, leave. They're like, no. So they just slapped a padlock on the door. Truth is, I don't really know. None of us do. I don't even know how many there are. All we've seen are glimpses. You haven't even seen them and you want the police to be involved? Well, he leans in for emphasis. There's also the machinery. When I first scouted the place back in February, it was abandoned, empty, took some time getting the crew together. So about 2 weeks ago, we came here hoping to set the stuff up. Suddenly, there are all these strange machines lying around there. One of them has wires running into bowls of water. Wires into water. Never seen anything like it. Andre, tell him about the feeling. Oh, and it felt like there was something in there with us, watching us from the dark. No, the other one. Which other one? I'm not in tune with my emotions as you are, Egg. Felt like silence, awful silence, but you haven't physically seen anyone. Not exactly. We've just seen someone who we think is a woman go in and out of the church a couple of times. We felt someone or something eyeing us inside, but that's kinda it. Gosh. What was that about something watching you? Like you aren't alone, you know? It wasn't quite human, if you know what I mean. Rhetoric, not human, as in a ghost? Do you know what he means? It was this dark shape climbing upside down along the ceiling, like some kind of crab man. A crab man? Yeah, you know, the way it was climbing up and around the ceiling, like a crab. The other one agrees. It was stalking a cell, exhibiting ambush behavior. Odd, crabs are usually marine creatures and not known for climbing walls. Well, spiders are kind of crab-like. They climb walls. Maybe it's just made a spider. Are you sure it was a crab man? Yeah, totally. I mean, I didn't personally see it. Estelle was alone that time, but I believe her. If she comes out running and says there's a crab in there, there's a crab in there. So he hasn't even been in there lately. Is he afraid? You should ask her about it, but be nice. Don't tell her you don't believe in the crab. There's probably is no crab man. Don't let them draw you in with this nonsense. Can you tell me more about this machinery? You should talk to Noid about that. I just got a distinct burnout and dopehead sign from them. Probably jacked up to some snuff station too, probably very likely. So how can you be sure there's burnouts and dopeheads if you haven't seen any of them? Well, honestly, I can't, but I am. There is a below feeble attempt at avoidance. Basically, he is attempting to weaponize idiocy. Wow, you can't. You can't, but you do. I should add weaponized idiocy to my own repertoire. I don't see a single thing wrong with that argument. Yeah. Hey now, he furrows his brow. I'm 70% sure they're substance abusers. Like this just... these percentages. Don't let all that technology fool you. He makes little quotation marks with his fingers when he says, technology. Where do you think drugs come from? Yes, drugs come from technology. That's funny. Alright, let's talk about something else. Mentioned some kind of ecclesiastes own the church. Who are these ecclesiastes? Oh yeah, that's a Meteran name for the founding party. Thought it'd be cool to use it. If you don't know what the founding party is, there might be a way to mask it with minor demagoguery. Before we go on, what do you mean by Meteran? Oh, the founding party. I do know them, but can you refresh my memory? Mask it. Now humor me, Andre. What is the founding party? Yes, mask it. Come to think of it, I've never really looked them up. You know, I can't give you a precise definition, but they're a very powerful religious organization. Nod. Good. Now let's talk. And they have roots in ancient mass society. He pauses. And they're custodians of the Paracanasian church, plus they anoint the innocents. They, like, made the innocentic system. Now, Andre, in your opinion, would this ancient religious organization who anoints the innocents want a club for anodic music in one of their churches? Totally, there isn't a trace of doubt in his voice. The Paracarnasian church is about love. Anodic music is about love. I got love for Paracanasian posse. I got love for my Paracanasian posse. Love is the relay out of death. We dance. He violently shakes the tape player as if to see if he can break it. Love is hardcore. Unity. Unity. Make some noise for my Insulindian posse. He turns the volume up, then looks at you with knowing nod, as if it's obvious you will now break into dance. Physical instrument. You feel it. The anodes and the cathodes coursing through you. Your big toe starts tapping along with the bass, as if testing the waters. No words, enjoy the beat. I don't quite understand what you're talking about. What's a posse? I guess love can be pretty hardcore. I now understand it was lame of me to suggest otherwise. Anodic music is about love, and so is the Paracanesian church. No, this is too much. No sane organization would want this level of absurdity in their church. I guess love can be pretty hard. Let's enjoy the beat. I guess love can be pretty hardcore. Oh yeah, it can. He's coming around, he nods at his friend. You're turning, then turns to you with a mischievous grin. You're getting it. I don't really think an organization would want a club in their church. But is that going to ruin the quest? No, this is too much. No sane organization would want this level of absurdity in their church. That's pretty downbeat. I think I speak for all of us when I say we expect the law to be more open to the idea of love, unity, and the Paracarnasian posse. I don't understand a single thing you're saying. I'm sorry, the law doesn't share. I don't understand it. Yeah, he shrugs in melancholy. I know you don't, so you got more questions. I want to ask you about the tent full of equipment. Yes, what? I see you brought your own water. Yeah, good to have bitch to carry. When I first scouted this place, I did some reconnaissance. I'm not sure the church even has running water. And it's distilled too. Oh, he doesn't know what to say. It's the one they sell at the fuel station. It's like he's lying to you, my liege, but he's slippery enough that there's nothing for you to grab hold of. Hate to tell you, but it reeks of sweat in here. It does, doesn't it? Told you we had a smell problem. He picks up a piece of telephone cord and inspects it. Wait. I also smell ether. Why? It's mixed with peculiar chemical scent like a laundry detergent. There's another thing. Ether. I don't smell ether. Do you, Noid? Nope. It's mixed with a peculiar chemical scent like laundry detergent. He sniffs the air, then shrugs. It doesn't take a forensic scientist to guess it's drug related. They look and act like a kind of guys who've done their fair share. Perception. However, their breathing is regular, their jaws stay put, and their pupils aren't dilated, so not under the influence right now. Encyclopedia. At least not under the influence of stimulants. That doesn't rule out hallucinogens, benzos, some depressants. How do you know all of this? What's with all the nose fed? The what now? He leans in to hear you better. Point at the bottles of a nasal spray in the corner. The Nosafed Ultra, you have a lot of it lying around. Oh, the Ultra. It's like an actor looking for a looking to the, oh, I guess that's like a prompter for his line. I have a major sinus infection. Stuffy nose, we all do. Shit's all blasted up. Winter, can't even breathe. You sound fine to me. Yes, he nods energetically. That's all Nosfid's doing. Without the Noza, I'd be drowning in shit right now. Noza fed is the shit. Good, now to the next thing. Can I have some? I have some nose problems too. On to the next thing. I get the Noza fed, but what about the engine starting fluid? The engine starting fluid. It's for starting engines. What engines do you start it with? What's with the... blah, blah, blah. It's cold, the fluid's for the generator. He points towards the machine. Keep on it, sire. How about the extra high ether content working out for you? Does it do the trick? I guess it does. You're not completely satisfied yet. You know, maybe the slight scent of ether I felt before is somehow connected to ethyl ether. No idea, man. Did you know that ethyl ether is just as a light, is used as light anesthetic and a solvent and an explosive and for manufacturing amphetamine? Huh. Did I miss something? I don't see anything else here. Alright, on to the next thing. Logic godly. Maybe everything isn't quite as you've been told. Take a moment to analyze. Convinced you're a smart cop. Oh, I got a minus because I'm a smart cop. Unexplained ether smell. Unexplained starting fluid. Headphones were sold. I only got a 28% chance. It's a white check. I can retry it. It's logic. What do I have? Be careful out there. Tell us how it goes. Can't believe I got a -2 for being a smart cop. Regular law enforcer. You've done it, Harry. Whatever else you are also boring. Hang on. Alright. You've done it, Harry. Whatever else you are, you're also boring now. It was not easy. You spent most of your life trying to funk up every nook and cranny of your personality. When someone says something political, the first 3 thoughts in your head are ludicrous hodgepodge of communism, fascism, and stock tips. When they ask you why you did something, it's superstardom, apocalypse, or the mea culpas of a flagellant cop monk. It's not easy reaching for the 4th option, the normal one. But you have, and now you're not just crazy, you're also boring. -1 shivers, strong grasp of reality, -1 inland empire. All learning caps raised to 3. Oh, that's nice. I don't know that really helps me any. Do I have anything? I think I've got some logic bonuses around here somewhere. There we go. Those glasses. Alright. Is there anything that's giving me minus to logic? No. I have like no authority.
So you had a talk with Andre, and now you want to discuss things with Noid? Good.
Skin shows through the holes in his Speed Freak's too large sweater. In front of him, an open toolbox full of carpentry tools and parts.
It's good you talked to Andre first. Gave me time to get a reading on your side. Can't really talk to people before you get a reading.
He runs his hand through his hair, which is combed back in mock seriousness, and continues to fiddle with some gears. Sign? Yeah, I gotta compare if we can align. Interesting. I suck at socializing, man. Even now, our sign synchronization is way off, but I'll see what I can do. He continues rearranging his tools. Tell me about the machines you saw in the church. He cringes. Weird stuff, specialized. There was a data processor and some sort of long-wave machinery. Wires going into water gives off a spy sign or some Samaran science sign, you know, the kind of that goes headfirst into the supernatural. The People's Republic of Samara is a product of Revachel's sister revolution on the Isola of Grodd. It's known as a severely degenerated rogue state. What's wrong with supernatural? The supernatural, so you think it's real, that actually exists. What's wrong with supernatural? Nothing wrong with it. It should be should definitely be researched. You can still do sick shit with it though. Alright. Most of it doesn't exist, but there's also stuff that isn't allowed to exist because the moralists think it's too dangerous for the plebes. Psionic powers, pale-related diseases, pretenders pretending to be human, folk rights, that kind of stuff. Why are you called Noid? Picks up some sort of widget. The hardcore aesthetic is esoteric. It's not meant to be discussed with the law at this moment. The hardcore aesthetic is esoteric. It's not meant to be discussed. Huh. I don't understand what that means. New task, sync the signs with Noid. I can see that further sign matching would do good for us. One way to achieve sign synchronicity would be to getting us into the church. Okay. Egghead, a young man with peroxide blonde hair, holds up a Harman Woshi tape player, nodding along the music. He looks at you with a knowing smile and says,
Hardcore!
Say nothing.
Hardcore!
Still say nothing.
Hardcore to the mega!
Say nothing.
Internally coherent!
I was wondering if you knew who killed the mercenary hanging behind the Worthing Reich's hostel.
Good morning, yeah! 1, 2, 3! Yeko Kata! The place to be!
Anything that really doesn't have anything to do with this case.
It's the message, so listen and you will see. No illusion. The spirit is what you feel.
What?
This is hardcore.
That's it?
It's hardcore!
Just gonna keep saying hardcore?
Skipper D, Skipper Danger. I am the rearranger.
Oh dear. That seems like a quest to try to figure out.
Hi again. So,
Alright, we got an even roll here now. If I hadn't been a smart cop, I would have been better. Let's give it a shot. Fail. Rub your chin. What's the gist of it? Gist of it, they want to turn the church into a club with suspicious elements overtaking the building. It's very important to understand what's the gist of things. Always consult the gist before making up your mind. This is going well. Dang it. Plus, has to be considered you can't invent the future of dance music in this smelly old tent. Imagine if you had to church. That settles it. The analysis complete. Their story checks out. So now I've got to put one in logic to be able to unlock that check again. That stinks.
So you talked to my associates, right? Are you going to help us? With the church, I mean.
Can't say, gotta ask questions first. Said, the others told me you went inside the church. What did you see in there? Oh, that you're not going to believe me. There's no point in me telling you. She's less prone to blurting out crab man than the others. Go ahead, tell me. Okay, she nods. I went in and saw a woman next to one of those machines there. Noid calls it a mainframe. She was dressed like someone who'd been erased by their grandmother, you know, strange old clothes. Had this absent expression, didn't say anything, just stood still. Go on. And then, you know, right behind her was a man crawled down the wall, upside down like a crab, down the church wall. I think the woman didn't even know he was there. He was completely silent. He stopped right before he got to the floor, then just hung there like that, looking at me, right at me. I turned around and walked out. End of story. Like a crab, you say. The lieutenant nodded. His face is stone. What does Crabman look like? It was too dark. She shakes her head. I couldn't tell exactly. Come on, she obviously could. She already went into detail. You were right. I don't believe you. You're wrong. I believe you. Come on. Quit stalling on me. You were right. I don't believe you. You were wrong. I do believe you. Yeah, I believe you. Why? Seems too ludicrous for a lie. What would you stand to gain? Nothing, she says. Anyway, what else? I'd like to know more about your associates. My associates, she blows on her chilled fingers. I haven't got much to say about them. What do you mean? You know something about them? Just answer the question, please. Of course I do. I just don't tell people about my friends, who they are, and so on. I don't provide information on them to the cops. What about you? Tell me something about yourself. Me, I'm a silver bird. Oh, okay, I'll ask later about all this. Get Estelle to talk about her associates. Don't know what makes you think it'll be any different. Later, but if I go buy those headphones you'd like to have, I wonder how much they are. Alright. Cool. I'm really afraid to drop that drawbridge because I feel like it's just going to like cause an earthquake or something and break this ice shelf off and Estelle will die, because that seems like the kind of game I'm playing. Just bad things happen. So these guys are just going to make drugs. That seems to be the case. How far do I have until I get another? So I still need 40 more. Dang. Need to respec. Get some logic. Get these hooligans out of here. Let's go and see if we can get her headphones. Do. We've got $18. Surely they're not going to cost that much, right? I think it's this way. Oh, there's my motor carriage. Ooh, had a thought bubble there. Creaking ahead, broken axle grinding. Oh yeah, well, that'd be my broken axle. Do. Alright, pawn shop. Alright, now where do I find some headphones at? It's a boombox. Man, I could actually buy a boombox now that I don't have to worry about paying for stuff, paying for a room every night.
Hello again. How can I help you?
Know anything about the trade? You might be able to... Guns. I wanted to ask about my missing gun again. Headphones. I'm looking for headphones. I don't see any headphones. Anybody in the chat know where you can buy some headphones at? I think these are all just little... Yeah, this all just looked in there once. That's like a street lamp. $700 for a light? No, I'm good. Maybe if I pitch that dude. I feel like I saw a place where headphones were, and I don't know. Maybe a Frit? Maybe Frit has headphones? Definitely feel like I've seen them. Just don't know where they are. This guy's not selling headphones, right? Speakers. Those sneakers. And speakers. Small heat emboss on the veneer reads Solidarity Aid from the People's Republic of Samara. The speakers themselves don't seem to display any magical qualities. No, don't look at the speakers, officer. Look at the sneakers. The man points to the footwear. The sneakers at the stars here. What about the speakers, though? Doesn't anyone want those speakers? These, officer, these speakers are Samaran garbage. I'm ashamed to even use them for props. Don't waste your time on them. Samaran trash? That sounds like they're from Samaran People's Republic, produced under the dictatorship of the Proliet. Can I just buy the sad, conquered Samaran speakers? No way, officer. Those aren't for sale. They're bad speakers, lo-fi, socialist junk. But I need some speakers. That's why I need them. I think I might be lo-fi, socialist junk. You're right. You're right. But I need some speakers. Well, if you want them, he pauses for a moment, calculating. Let's see, they got the pedestal for my sneakers. If I let go of the speakers, why will the sneakers go on? I can't give a premium lifestyle sneakers on the ground. On the other hand, you want to buy the sneakers, I could maybe throw in the speakers for an extra 50 cents. That's interesting. Where can I get what's in here?
The shine on those sunglasses lasts
Reach
a
through the
lifetime,
box.
officer. 100% guaranteed.
Those UV stickers are almost certainly just there for show. If anything, the lenses probably direct more UV into your pupils. UV magnifier. They're all first-rate sunglasses, the man declares. Premium design, superb material, very cool, UV resistant. They would definitely keep your eyes safe and cool while doing your dangerous police work. Try again, maybe you can find some interesting sunglasses in the box. Failure. Man. The visor back. Let's go to Frit. Maybe they'll have it. They'll have some headphones. I can turn in my bottles. I get like $1 for all these bottles. $1.60. Is there anything up here? Cigarettes? Knick-knack stand. I want to buy a raincoat. Steal a raincoat? No, I don't want to do that. Nope. Nobody's got headphones around here?
Is this about the questions again? Because I don't really know anything.
A warehouse? I don't know. Maybe I don't really care what Frit does. Come on, give me something to work with. This is important. She scrunches her face into an expression of consummate adolescent skepticism. Fine, Frit doesn't have a warehouse, just a little back room here, okay? She doesn't. She turns back to her magazine without waiting for you to respond. Alright, well, I guess I'm gonna have to find these headphones somewhere else. I really feel like I have seen them, though. I just don't know where. I guess while I'm here, I could swing by and see if Gart's gonna refund my money. Wait, do I have something in, like... items? Oh, okay. Anybody in here got headphones? Alright, guard. Let's talk my room.
Can I help you?
Guard, I found a new bird for the whirling rags. Give him the ruffled grouse. What is this thing? The man takes a stuffed bird. It's no biggie. I just thought it could look nice on the wall. I'm that kind of cop. This is ruffled grouse that symbolizes the might of male courtship rituals. Maybe it serves as a reminder to keep an eye on the... Oh my god. I'm just that kind of cop. What? The interior decorating kind? He inspects the bird somewhat suspiciously, then mellows. You know, I'm sorry, this is actually a nice bird. A competent piece of taxidermy. I can fix it to the plaque and have a new bird in the establishment, I guess. He hesitates, so I don't know. Thank you, I'm going to go with thank you. I feel good about our work here today, the lieutenant nods. It's all about little things, like bringing people random stuffed animals. It's not actually about that, but he liked it. Guard, I saw another thing at the whirling. About my bill. You're already set for the night. Your door is unlocked. Aww. Let this be a lesson to you. Don't prepay. How about you? You still grumpy?
Again, I can't believe this shit.
I'll come back to you. Da, 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 da. Okay. I guess we're gonna head back over to... Let's head back over there. I feel bad because I really wanted to help that poor girl out. But I guess I don't know where any... I should go buy my die for that game. I had on order for weeks. Well, not weeks. Weeks of real time. Like 2 days of in-game time. I'm right here anyway. Might as well do it. Dude. I should probably get Kim to take that body. But I don't want him to do it because I'm afraid he won't come back. And we're supposed to meet at the apartment complex at 2100, so maybe tomorrow. I'm sure it's fine in that bare ice chest. Wait, do I still have that thing? I didn't leave it in there, did I? Da-da-da. Yeah, I got it. Gosh, that seems like so long ago. Do-do-do. Hey, what's up? Oh, maybe that's the headphones. Can I have your headphones? Came back to pick up my die. Very good. That will be 7 real. Boom. 1 universal die for Whirl Untethered. The dice maker opens her desk, hands you the die. Look at it. Feels icy. Just holding this die in your hand sends a jolt of cold down your spine. Through the dark resin, you can make out a nugget of bone hewn from an alligator's jaw. Can I order another die? I'm sorry, I'm a bit overloaded just now. I can only produce 1 die per customer. Well then. Alright. Well, that's done. It looks pretty cool. The Doom Spiral's jacket. Okay, I guess we're going back over. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Do do do. Up we go. Yeah, I should just like run around with my pry bar. Okay. Let's go. We'll find your headphones at some point. Maybe. I should say we will try to find your headphones. Definitely try. Onward. Okay. Cannot believe I failed that logic check. Do anything over here? I was over here earlier. I don't think I can. Is this how you get to the church? That looks like a building. Oh wow, there's people there. Oh, these are but those are our cryptozoologist people. This is a big area. Didn't expect it to be this big. We're not going to get all this explored before we have to go back to the apartment complex. No boat in this boathouse. Section of the coast hasn't been used in decades. Oh, I can go talk to the White Pines lady now that I found my my hypnogamma. I can go talk to the lady from the White Pines now that I found my badge. Forgot about that. Ancient painting. Ancient paint is peeling off the roof of this shaded bench, covered in rust. Face is kind of sad. An old ticket taker booth, no longer in operation. Look, a lot of bullet holes on that wall. A scattering of bullet holes is spread across the cracked wall, reaching from one corner to the other. Look, Kim, even more bullet holes. Something's definitely gone down here. Visual calculus. Why is there so many holes? Look, Kim. Correct. Lieutenant examines the wall closely. The density of the bullet holes is unusual, even in a general average bullet hole frequency in Martinet's sense. Grim affairs. Meaning this is a lot of bullet holes. He brushes the wall with his hand. Looks like fully automatic fire, something you don't see these days. Why not? The manufacturing and sale of automatic rifles was curtailed after the Revolution. The destructive power of such tools proved to be too much. We do need to retain some humanity in the world. Visual calculus. Let's do it. A row of ghostly shades stand facing the wall. There are many of them, a dozen at least. Their heads lowered as blindfolded. It's quite quiet. No sound and no movement. Is this a firing squad? 10 meters away, other shades are lined up in an orderly manner. Automatic rifles primed. A gust of wind blows by. The coats of the firing squad flap slowly in the breeze. A single person stands on the side. The sun blazes high up in the sky, baking the planks The sand, your skin, the order was carried out in the afternoon. A long time has passed since the moment of this fusilating rain and brine have since washed all the blood away. Not a trace remains. What is this? Visual calculus. The abundance of bullet holes leads to two options. Either an inordinate amount of executions were performed here, or they didn't use a conscience round where only one soldier has the loaded rifle. Looks like this was a mass execution with everyone fully armed. Look at the people against the wall. A host of men, probably in everyday clothes, ragged from the conflict and covered in dust. They were not sitting, a common practice for executions in some nations, as demonstrated by the height level of the bullet holes. Look at the line of soldiers. 7 men in combat uniforms and dark coats holding automatic rifles aimed at the people. Soldiers from some side, or from which one? Look at the person standing on the side. The commandant, the one who gives the order, marching machine gun fire crackling through the air, the lights of muzzle flashes dancing on his face. Kim, who was in this execution? At first, the lieutenant doesn't say a word. He just stares at the wall. I don't know, he says finally. I don't know who died here. Lined up beside that horrible wall could have been any of the parties involved in the revolution. Perhaps the ones executed here were the loyalist conservatives killed by the communists at the start of the Civil War, or it could have been the communists put to death during the last stretch of the conflict by the coalition forces. It could even have been the employees of the Feld R&D Center down the coast as their building was taken over by the revolutionaries. Or maybe, you mentioned coalition forces, could it have been them against the wall? Yeah, it's very unlikely the coalition forces were the ones who died here. They were always the last ones against the wall. To be honest, if a coalition member was anyone in this situation, it was the commandant, the superior giving the order. A cold sea wind blows away the figures. Interesting. Got some change on that bench? Boom. Oh, look at that. Got some more logic. We're not going to fail that one this time. I can tell you that much. Where's that go? Oh, it's a hat. Boom. Just wait till I can come back in there and smell that ether. The store is not openly barred shut. It's inaccessible. It's not only barred shut. It's inaccessible. Alright, so we can't go in there. Making progress. Let's go over here. Just kind of keep cleaning stuff out. Still got a couple hours till we have to meet up with the, is this the fish market? Bars cover these long, dusty windows. Reception hearing. The remaining windows rattle from a strong gust of wind. They're covered in a thick layer of grime. They must have been like this for 40 years. Try to see inside. Dripping water falls from a high place. All you can see is the shadow of a collapsing staircase. There's rust and corrosion on the bars. They're foaming with it. And a small layer of... and a small layer of white salt from the sea. Lieutenant, can you make out what's inside? Point to the windows. No, he shakes his head. The windows rattle in their frames. I won't even try. You know, he takes his glasses off. I had a partner once. They called him Eyes because he had to show me things. It's that bad. Can you still shoot, though? Just nod. Can you still shoot, though? Well enough, actually. It's odd how that works. I'm not a sharpshooter, but I passed shooting courses. I passed my shooting courses 7 out of 10. Alright, well, at least you know. It's got my back. Failed electrical. You see a once bright mural towering above you. The signage has been peeled off over the years, but you can still make out failed electrical R&D. A slogan used to intertwine with loops a long time ago. Now only a shadow of peeled letters remains. It says tomorrow is just a whisper away. Tomorrow is just a whisper away. Looks like tomorrow never came. He raises the collar of his bomber jacket. Tomorrow is just a... I already did that one. Another power box. Charges nothing now, it's empty. Let's check these things out. Take that money. I'm doing good now. Fence blocks the path. No way from here.
And Mikhail, notice the windows, especially with how there are no windows on the south side. This was to deal with.
A blond man stands next to his son, pointing to the weather-worn ruins. He sees you approaching and smiles.
You, officers, come to investigate the historic subtext of West Martinez. I'm Trant Heidelstein. You must be Kim Kitsuragi, right? I was just telling my son about this building. Not a lot of people realize the historic significance here. Very rich in hypertext.
Nice to meet you.
He knew who Kim was? Hold on, hypertext?
Yes, hypertext. Jan Karp and the collection of cultural hyperlinks.
Wait, what was that about the windows before?
Oh, yes. So, Mikhail, they had to deal with monitor glare, especially in the summer. They still had vector monitors back then. That was 49 years ago, so they didn't have windows on the south wall. No, I can't say that we've met before, but I've heard of Kim, of course. Mikhail, say hi to the officers.
He rests his hands on the boy's shoulders. The child stays hidden behind the hem of his father's coat, clutching to his worm-themed coloring book.
Mikhail's a little tired today. We spent all night trying to run Orbis on his radio computer. Have you heard of it? It's a programming language used in Grad. Quite tricky, but he wanted to play this Grad-made adventure program. We've been getting really into worms lately.
Drama. The man speaks in the artificial cadence of a professor or someone who's been on too many radio shows.
But I assume you're not here for giant worms, when there are so many real things to see. Just as I was telling Mikhail before, this is where the Coalition landed in '08. We could be standing on what is the most interesting landmark in Revachol West.
He points to the building again. Wow, get a load of this guy. He really enjoys his trivia. The Orbis programming language was named after its inventor, Victor Orbis, a cybernetician, yeah, from Grad. They run Vox in the Occidental countries. Do you have any money? That's funny. What's so fascinating about an empty old building? Aha! But it's not just any empty old building. He raises his hand to his eyes. Springtime sun warming his handsome face. All four of you turn to admire the mural before you. What not a lot of people know is this used to be the R&D department for Feld Electrical, and Feld, which now sells ink cartridges mostly, was a top dog in the turn of the century cybernetics boom. The building looming over you. It looks old, weathered, with seagulls picking apart its stone and metal carcass. Bushy undergrowth has taken hold of the collapsed rooftop. Some kind of bird has set up a nest on a broken windowsill. I don't think I've ever heard of this Feld Electrical. That's not surprising. Only a vestigial ink cartridge and ferrotape manufacturer remains. He adjusts his suit jacket. You're right, Defungator. He is like the encyclopedia person. Kind of reminds me, I wonder if this is like a commentary on like HP or something, like they only make ink now. They started out as a Midway Electronics outfit in Koningstein 2 centuries ago. After an aggressive move to Revachol, Feld became a global player in the emerging personal electronics market of the pre-revolutionary era. Still, Tricentennial was beating them in business machines. He gestures towards the building, but Feld had an ace up their sleeve, or should I say they were developing an ace up their sleeve. He grins. I'm mixing my metaphors here. What was that ace? It was here in Martinez, possibly this very building, that they developed the prototype for, he pauses for effect, tape computer. A tape computer. An elegant folding mechanism of rollers and ferrotape ribbons, portable enough to be a take-it-home solution, revolutionizing business machines, possibly even bringing them to the average consumer, which is a feat of engineering even today's giants Ream, ICN, and ZAM haven't achieved yet. He grins, admiring the sentence he just produced. He assumes something like a combat stance, facing the wind. What happened? Indeed, what? The revolution. The boy wipes his nose on his sleeve. He nods. Unfortunately, their moonshot project never made it to the market. Feld's move to Revachol backfired. The revolutionary government liquefied their assets and expropriated those very advanced prototypes, possibly from this very building, or one of the adjacent ruins. He pauses, pointing to the other building, then continues. All of this was built by Feld, even the boardwalk. Wild Ponds built Martinez proper as a resort for their middle management. Feld built this side of the town for R&D. You're saying Feld Electrical built this boardwalk? Look at your feet. Yes, they even built a pleasure wheel, but that got destroyed in the war. The pleasure wheel. The lieutenant looks wistfully at the horizon as if picturing gondolas rising in the sky. Yes, to lure in the star engineers, this part of Martinez was nothing but reeds before Feld arrived. They had to make the prospect of living here attractive. It was supposed to become a global center for innovation in cybernetics, but history had other plans. What happened to the engineers, the company people? Oh, I'm afraid it didn't end well for the boys. He smiles again, as if he's somewhat personally responsible for this bleak turn of events. But it's a story a bit too dark for little Michael here. Now, if you were to ask about the tape computers, wait, is he saying that we should just bypass the excess of the revolution? Turn to Michael. He means they all died at the hands of the communists. Tape computers, right. Yeah, I don't think we should, just dump that on the kid. Tape computers, he nods when tousling his suit jacket. What did the revolutionaries do with those advanced tape computers? They used them for military communications, he said, while his son looked up, ideally chewing on the corner of his worm-themed coloring book, but also to write and send out press releases, most notorious examples being Le Decret de Mars. What was that? Take this kid to go play with Kuno. That'll grow him up. You're right. That would grow him up in a hurry. Trent Heidelstein. Oh, what's the March Decree? I mean, the radio transmission sent out to news agencies and world governments by the newly created commune of Revachol on the 7th of March in the year 02. A short-lived legislative foundation for a short-lived utopia. It's a beautiful piece of text. Actually, a singer-songwriter I know, Charette, called it a love poem to Revachol on her political concept album Bons Baisers de Insolinde. You should read it. Every local library in Revachol stocks a copy of the decree. I tried to get Michael to memorize it. He looks at his son, who starts giggling, his face hidden behind the book. Tried to. Someone was much too interested in worms to be paying any attention. Perception sight. The kid takes a peek at the green and silver worm on the cover of his book, already forgetting about the part of the discussion. How did those tape computers work? Did they work like radio computers? Actually, no. No one knows. No one even knows what a computer made entirely of tape would look like, but word has it they were very elegant, exquisite, alien-looking, turn-of-the-century hardware. He raises his finger, remembering something. Buckle up. 10 years ago, I did a little freelancing. I guess you could say I was a special consultant for an exhibition at the Wompity Dompity Dom Center in Vredefort, Orange Hay. It raised the same questions, and we had lengthy discussion with Paul Ackerman, who was head curator at the time. This was before the twins Keith and Guy Jost joined the team. Trying to... Wait, did he just say Wompity Dompity Dom Center? What the hell is a Wompity Dompity Dom Center, and who the hell is Keith and Guy Jost? Okay, the Wompity Dom Center. Paul Ackerman, Keith and Guy Jost. What are you talking about? This Wompity Dompity Dom Center for Contemporary Arts. There it is again, those words. The exhibition itself drew on Langermann's notions of memory, so there were some parallels. That's why the head curator, Paul Ackerman, chose to... You're making this up. Turns to Lieutenant. Kim, is he making this up? In fact, I am not. The Wompity Dompity Dom Center, says casually, is a place you can visit if you're ever in Vredefort and are ever in the market for an exhibition space / contemporary art research center. He clears his throat. But perhaps I should return to the tape computers. As I was saying, the device itself was very elegant, fragile even. One could write directly on the tape using a special chemical solution. That machine would then analyze the handwriting, perform operations, project output onto a white screen. It was a beautiful, delicate thing. Made of black film and folding tape structures. Cool. Very cool. He agrees, though I understand that the socio-economic causes of the revolution pains me to imagine the revolutionaries setting fire to the precious device, but so they did. The failed playback experiment vanished into the fires of '07. Wait, failed playback experiment? Yes, the official name for the prototype, some sources report, is the failed playback experience. Oh, no, those are incorrect. Why did the revolutionaries destroy it? Who knows? Maybe it was an accident, or maybe they didn't want the technology to end up in the wrong hands. Either way, they're all lost my spot. Either way, they're all gone now. All three versions of the prototype. Nothing but debris and ashes remain inside the building. He takes a step back. The boardwalk creaks mournfully in the wind. That's sad. But of course, what else? Alright, I don't really want to ask you for money. Some good information. No, thank you for having me and little Michael here to pick your brain. Very interesting conversation indeed. Cool. Wonder if we can find one of those cool computers. Looks like a phone. Someone must have worked hard to smash that plastic dome. I didn't even notice it was smashed. That's sad. Metal payphone under a yellow plastic dome. You could use it to call someone unless you're out of change. Dial a random number? No, I'm good. I want to just dial a random number. What good is that going to do? Alright, so the church is over here. Yeah, that's the church. I feel like it's getting dark. Sorry. Is it a rock? They have money under the rock. Looks pretty neat. Rusty gear is used to turn the whole machine. And before you house the engine. Must have been a big one. Chain trails off into the ocean to who knows where. Should go back and finish investigating the boardwalk before I dive into another building. This barrel has been recently discarded. It smells of fuel oil. Alright. Let's go see if we can... Maybe, I think they said that guy's jacket might be at the boardwalk. Dead phone, smashed receiver, like someone hung up too hard. Oh, somebody must have been in a hurry. Or upset. Is that his jacket right there? Someone has left an unidentifiable article of clothing on the railing. It smells really bad. Take a closer look. It's streaked with dried seagull shit and tangled up with pieces of seaweed. Dangling arms suggest that there might be a jacket beneath a crust of filth. It seems like that it was left in the surf until someone laid it out on the beach to try out. Unfortunately, that just seems to have stiffened it into a shapeless mass. Please tell me you're not taking that with you. I think this is the jacket the idiot Doomsbrow guy wanted me to find. The lieutenant looks at the stinking rags and sniffs. I'm sure he'll be thrilled to have it returned. Should we inspect the jacket? As you hold it in your hands, it makes an uncomfortable crunching sound. Man, how did the jacket get so disgusting? It's a sordid and filthy tale, not for the weak. Are you sure you can stomach it? Some secrets are better left uncovered. Don't even try, seriously. Think about it. It occurs to you that you're not even holding the jacket itself, but rather the thick crust of jet salmon seagull shit that ensconces it. It smells like a dead sea creature tangled in gray strands of seaweed. It must have spent quite some time in the water before the tide deposited it ashore. Gross. Okay, but what's the crust made of? Somehow it was carried or dragged to the boardwalk. If not by human hands, then perhaps the feral dogs who prowl the beaches at night. The faint impressions of many footprints are also present, though it's impossible to tell what kind of how many. Suffice to say, the jacket spent some time on the ground before someone draped it over the railing. Okay, that's pretty disgusting. I've had enough. What happened once someone put it on the railing? The crust is hard. The jacket spent at least a day baking in the sun. Who knows what happened to it then? Somewhere high above the city, a pair of seagulls trace loops through the air. They are like bombardiers on the aerostatic brigades, gliding above a target-rich environment. All of a sudden, the bomb bay doors open. Their white glittering payload rushes to the ground. Splat! An explosion of white on a man's shoe. A curse goes up, but the birds do not hear. Why did I spend all this time thinking about seagull shit? It's too late. You've already thought about it, and now your hands are covered in muck. Ew, your hand. Flick your hands. I'm gonna get caught in that loop again. Now you're just flicking shit everywhere. This is a disaster. You'll never get the smell out. That's funny. Well, we found his jacket. That's nice. Well, we can help another person. A makeshift roof. Vagrants have tried to make the boardwalk habitable. That tarp will keep out neither rain nor snow nor wind. Another postcard. A coin-operated weighing machine hasn't been used for a decade. Encyclopedia. Definitely could use that. Vagrants have recently painted the tarp red. Water drips from it. Yeah, I'm wearing a I don't know if it's technically a do-rag. It's something like that, though. It gives me +2 to logic. I'm just waiting to be able to put a point in logic so that I can go back and catch those punks making meth. Big wine canister is open and empty. Moonshine probably smells like tasty fermentation. Dude, this guy looks like he's not doing too good. Trash can. There's some tear, an empty cigarette package, and a crumpled kebab wrapper. Examine the tear. 2 empty bottles of Tula vodka and a can of black potent porter is all you find. Perception sight. No, there's more in there. Livis, strawberry liquor, plus some Pilsner bottles too. Better not pick them up. They seem unhygienic. A tragedy, the lieutenant looks in the can, eyes watering from the smell. Examine the cigarette package. Whoever tossed it here was a heavy smoker. Brand name reads Red Astra. Red Astra is the black market version of Astra cigarettes, known for their high tar content. Examine the kebab wrapper. You see traces of mayonnaise and ketchup on it, as well as a tomato wedge. The wrapper reads Shish Kebab Revichol. It's no older than a day or two. No mold yet. It's hard to concentrate in the smell. The sea air brings some relief. The smell is awful and familiar. Hold on, that is awful. What is it? Don't you recognize that kind of hideous pungency? That faintly cloying sweetness? Only death smells like that. Something cold wakes in the pit of your stomach. Fear. It is death. It must be. Kim, what's that smell? Heads up, Lieutenant. Something's not right here. Lieutenant has already brought his handkerchief to his nose. Dude, what is up? Working class corpse. A man lies on the boardwalk, neck turned to an unnatural angle. Right next to him is an empty bottle of spirits in his hand. In his crumpled hand, a chewing gum wrapper. The smell is not as bad as a 2-week-old corpse, but it's definitely heading there. Hold on, the lieutenant squats next to the corpse and examines his face. 2 bulging eyes stare back at him, void of any signs of life. Lividity is faintly pronounced. Whoever this is, he's been dead for 2 days, no longer. He stands up and shivers as a gust of wind blows through his bomber jacket. We need to investigate. Calm now, carefully. Just another day, just another dead body. Breathe. Study the man's clothes. He's wearing mud-caked boots, beige trousers, an old brown leather jacket with a bright blue lining. There are traces of kebab sauce on his chest. The leather jacket suits him well. It must be custom made. Search his pockets. Folded library card. Find some sunflower seeds and a rain-soaked library card folded in 2. His jacket feels sodden and heavy under your hand. Good, we should take a look at the library card after this is done. Study the man himself. The man has fallen through a crack in the boardwalk and hit his head against the metal bench. Ugh! Coagulated blood covers his black hair. One of his feet is still tangling through the hole. A bad fall. It might have been dark outside. This place is a minefield in the dark. Examine his face. His expression is dull like a sea behind him. Drops of water shining on his mustache. His eyes empty and wide, looking frightening. They look frightening in their frozen gaze. Height 170 to 175 centimeters. Curly hair. Stout build. Age approximately 50 to 60 years. Study the surroundings. There is some dried blood on the metal bench, right where the corpse's head rests. The floorboards are rotten and slippery, wet around the hole. An empty bottle lies nearby. Chewing gum wrapper is clutched in his fist. Examine the man's head. A dried chunk of blood covers the hair at the back of his head. An open wound. It's sticky and cold to your touch. This is what killed him. I don't see any other major wounds, do you? It's hard to say. No, just this one at the back of his head. Seems like the head wound was fatal. It's exactly the shape of the bench. Step on the floorboards. They screech under your feet ominously. It's hard to say whether the dead man's weight was what caused the boardwalk to break. It definitely looks fragile. You see waves churning below. Something cracks beneath your feet. He could have easily disappeared into the sea through that hole, and you would never have found him. Examine the bottle. A 0.75 liter Tula vodka. Tulola. No, there's no second T in there. Tallulah vodka with its cap missing. There's hardly anything left inside. tear all around us, he looks at 2 other bottles forgotten near the coin-operated viewer. Examine the chewing gum wrapper. Robowski spearmint chewing gum. Green leaves on the cover. The man's mouth is half agape from the terror of the fall. Look in. The blackness of the death stench. You think you see white chewing gum too. Confirmed. Nearly the whole pack is in there, solidified into his lower rear teeth. He ate the whole pack, right? It's to cover the smell of alcohol before going home. The worst thing is, the man shudders from the cold. I've seen it before. Almost the same scenario. Even the chewing gum, it's always the same. The entire boardwalk creaks in the wind as you take a step back. Who is this man? Looks like one of the locals. He'd have to know the spot to come here. You don't just walk over here. He looks south the way you came. But just a lazy assumption. What do you think? I think labeling him as an alcoholic is a bit premature. We don't know anything yet. We do know that he was married. The lieutenant points to the ring on the man's left hand. The flesh around it was swollen and gray. But you're right. Let's not run ahead. For now, all we know is that he's an unidentified middle-aged man found dead on the Martinez boardwalk. What do you think happened here? Death by misadventure. He slipped and fell through the boardwalk. A truly unfortunate accident. It wouldn't have been for that bench, he'd be alive. Do you think he was drunk? Point at the bottle. What about the kebab? Someone should be held responsible for this broken boardwalk. It's dangerous. Could it be connected to lynching? No. I don't see anything that points in that direction. For now, let's treat this case as a simple, albeit said, accident. Unrelated to the murder case. Logic. Agreed. If this somehow converges later, why not? But keep it simple for now. You think he was drunk? Oh yes, the lieutenant nods. What about alcoholic poisoning and liver failure? Some symptoms of acute alcohol poisoning could have definitely played a role here. Severe confusion, respiratory depression, unpredictable behavior. But I think death arrived through the head trauma, not the liver failure. What about the kebab? What about it? The deceased ate some kebab, he shrugs. Probably from a nearby place, maybe in the pox. Sometimes a kebab is just a kebab. Someone should be held responsible. It's dangerous. They'll seal this place off after the news reaches the coalition officials. I doubt that they have enough resources to actually repair the boardwalk. Not that sealing it off would keep anyone away. All it does is keep the city council's hand clean. He smiles sourly. Right. What should we do with him? From where I stand, I can see 2 options. We either take the case and follow the lead to identify the body on our own, or we report back to the station and leave it for our colleagues to handle. Hold on. What about the field autopsy? Field autopsy isn't necessary if the case of death doesn't appear to be criminal, and this looks as a simple accident to me. I'd say we should write down head trauma in the autopsy report. Leave it at that. It would save us at least 2 hours of unnecessary work. Doesn't seem criminal. Isn't it kind of sloppy? Maybe, but we don't really have much time or resources to spare. The guy at the processing will take care of the rest. Okay. Okay, so we found him. We should finish this. Still need some time to decide. Yeah, we found him. We should finish it. Alright. Should first examine the library cards you found. Then we can call the station from my kinema. Let them know we're taking the case. Sounds good. So he was like, it says that he was over here. It's the library card. Let me equip this because there might be things nearby that we can get. Library card is folded in 2 and still slightly wet to the touch. The front side reads Central Jamrock Public Library card issued to Billy Magine, expires July 53. Billy is a unisex name, could be deceased or his family member. Look inside. Whoever owns this card is an avid reader. You find a list of books written in blue pencil. Radio thrillers stand a little less between me and the sun. The last one on the list is The Glinting Curve by M. Thibault. Library stamp indicates that the book has been returned. Most of these titles seem to be in the sci-fi genre, some thrillers too. Look at the backside. If lost, please return the card to the library, dial 00502552211, or visit Miro Street 78 Jamrock, business hours 09 to 18. Ah, they just closed. Gotta wait till tomorrow. Good. He takes notes. We should give them a call from my kinema, see if we can learn anything about Billy Magine. Good idea. There was plenty of information here to go by. Cool. I feel like whatever it is probably... Oh, there's no bottles here. It's a long way down to your death from here, 20 meters at least. Coin-operated viewer has been out of orders for years. Stop messing around with coin-operated views and holding on to something. Hold on to something. The wind is strong. Ah, I thought maybe he was like looking through here and was going to give some kind of clue. Careful there, those floorboards look rotten and weak. Well, the poor guy, that's what happened to him. Did we not look in that barrel? Guess we didn't. Guess we didn't have the bottle thing, the bottle collector thing. Dang, son! Look at all them bottles. It looks like you can get in there. There's like something right there, but I don't know. Maybe you can get to it from the other side. Don't know. We'll have to investigate. All right, that's the cryptozoologist has to be. Wait, can I come down this side? Can I get in there right there? Did I miss something? We haven't made quite as much progress, but I feel like we've, picked up some more quests. We've laid good groundwork. So, I'm happy. I'm pleased. Alright, can I come this way? Can you come down this way? No? No? How am I going to get in this building? Can I use the bolt cutters to cut the fence? Probably not, right? I feel like I can get in this building. Just don't know how. Because there's like something right there. But it won't let me click it. I can click it, but it won't take me there. Maybe I need to like climb this or something? Don't know. It's like a tree. Like something in that tree right there. Oh, money. I think this is our cryptozoologist people. Don't really want to start a conversation, another conversation right now. Any buoy bobs in the water, the number on it says, a buoy bob in the water, number on it says 11. Alright, I've been all, okay, so yeah, so I think this is kind of the end of the beach. So I think that's a good place to stop for now. Come back and talk to the cryptozoologist next time. Start cashing in some of these quests and whatnot. Continue on. I guess we'll definitely hit the apartment complex up next time since it's 2100 hours and we're at 18. Almost have that whole thing researched as well. And then we might have to research, contact Mike here at some point in time. Maybe the next. I feel like I'm not going to get these conceptualization points that I need to do what I want. But we'll see. So, thanks for joining me. If you guys enjoyed the stream and you want to come back next time, just hit the follow button and you'll get an alert when I go live. If you're watching this on Twitch and you'd like to see the older episodes, just click the link over to YouTube and you'll see all the archived episodes over there, as well as some of the other Let's Plays I've done. And then, if you're watching this on YouTube, just check a link in the description and hop on over to the Twitch page, and you can follow over there and get notifications when we go live. So thanks for joining me tonight. I had fun. Hope you guys did too. And I'll see you next time. Bye.